Former England international Premier League winner Lee Dixon is here. And this has all the ingredients of a cracker, doesn't it? But could Austria's approach play into French hands?
Well, I'd like to think so. Ralf Rangnick, with his press conference and his words before the game, suggests that they're going to be brave. We know how they play, the very high-octane, big press on the whole team. So if that works, then they could upset the French a little bit. The trouble with that is Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe and Thuram up front. So let's see how it goes.
Thuram playing on the left of the front three, and Mbappe leading from the front, right down the middle. Defending is the first job for this French team, and a first touch for Mike Maignan. Kind of a perfect end to the Italian season, but there's no doubting his ability. He's first started a major tournament in place of Hugo Lloris, who retired at the end of Qatar in 2022. Here's Dembele. Verba goes towards him. Griezmann is ever available. Austria win it back very quickly, then give it back. Rabiot finds Conte. Bit of space over on that left-hand side. Hernandez speeding down to the byline, but it's Rabiot who's the danger now. Mbappe. He will still pull out towards that left-hand side with Thuram taking the place in the centre. Thuram's used to doing that for his club. Mbappe has won the first free kick of the game.
Yeah, it's a natural position for him to drift into that inside left a little bit. Thierry Henry, like, he loves to wander over that side, but that press that Austria put on the first few minutes, and then one long ball over the top to Dembele, just upset all that. They've got to be very, very careful at the back when they're pressing up front.
Rabiot and Saliba occupying the defenders at the back edge of the box. It's aimed in towards Saliba, flicked away by Danso. Meccano leaves it to go out for a throw in which Jules Koundé will take it right back. I swear he's played for most of the second half of the season at Barcelona. Prior to that was predominantly a centre-half, and I think that's where he would like to play. With the quality of centre-backs in this French squad, I think he'll be staying on that right side if he wants to play on a regular basis.
I think you take what you get. If you get a French shirt given to you, play anywhere.
Well, until today, the large majority of the games so far have seen the favourites on the front foot, fast and goal-laden. Clean sheets and draws had been at a premium. It's a positive trend that we've seen develop in the Premier League, although the defenders amongst us might not agree with that.
You can quite easily see the trigger as soon as the nearest man to the ball starts that sprint to put the press on. Everybody else goes almost tied together with pieces of rope. Until that first sprint, they're just setting their positions. Thuram and Mbappe just swap positions again.
He is a 9 for his club, Marcus Thuram, and scored a lot of goals, 15 goals and 14 assists in a very good first season at Inter. N'Golo Conte making a rare mistake and then recovering the ball, as is his want.
Doesn't lose many tackles, does he?
I've seen him for 2 years in a French shirt until he was called up for this squad. Here's Theo Hernandez going bounding forward and drawing a challenge, which is going to generate a free kick again for France. Kevin Danso just making sure that Hernandez is okay.
How quick was he then?
He's a speedster.
Hernandez just cuts inside and then sees a space, sprints right into it, and that just commits midfield. If he gets past them, then one of the centre-backs has to come out. Danso giving a free kick away, and this is maybe a little bit too far out for Griezmann. but he's a wizard on the set pieces for sure.
He's already eyeing up Patrick Prince's goal. Bending it towards Saliba. It was a little bit short. Danso got the header away. And Lima trying to escape with it, but bounces kindly for Upamecano, who's challenged strongly by Mvene.
It's already riveting, this game. There's loads going on off the ball and little runs, little checks of defenders bumping into forwards. It's just a shame you can't have a big wide camera on all of the pitch all of the time.
Contacts now playing in Saudi Arabia. Finds Theo Hernandez, who last year was in Italy. Mbappe trying to trick his way down the touchline, is pushed out by Posh. There is Ralf Rangnick, the most popular man in Manchester after his caretaker spell, but he is definitely flavour of the month in Austria. That's not always easy for a German in Austria. He has transformed the team from a defensive one with a pragmatic approach into a high-pressing, energetic machine. He's also popular because he turned down the chance to replace Thomas Tuchel at Bayern Munich.
There was a lot of talk about England in the second half and how leggy they looked and how tired they looked after a long, hard season. But if you played a game like this Austrian team, you've got to be super, super fit. Not only to keep it up, but also when the second half comes as well, you've got to do the same thing.
This is Werber, who spent last season on loan in Germany from Leeds United. That's a wasted pass. It was signed when Jesse Marsch was in charge of Leeds United, having worked under the American in the Red Bull system. And Rangnick was a prominent figure. A lot of these players have played in that system, which is why they were so familiar with the way that Rangnick plays. That was late. Theo Hernandez gets up and Mbappe goes steaming forward. It's Kylian Mbappe into the side netting, and Prince, I think, got a touch on that to turn it round the post. But that's how rapid France can try to sting you.
Wow, what a break. Again, Hernandez so quick to get on the ball. Looked like a foul, but the ball was allowed to continue. And then Mbappe, look how quick he gets away from any sort of covering defender. Tries to give Pens the eyes with the near post. Maybe, in hindsight, and there's the touch there. And the foul from Posh. But play on, says the referee.
First corner is a short one. Griezmann delivers it right under Prince's nose. Thuram, who is 6'4", was putting the pressure on. Danso felt the force.
My eyes, but Pens looks really small in that goal. I know he says on his stats he's 180,
183,
183,
yeah.
But he looks the smallest man around there. The referee looks bigger than him.
Posh into Grealish and then Danso. Grealish, who's been brought into the side just to add a little extra steal. Sabitzer on the chase. He's got Saliba and Upamecano. Hunting that ball down. There's an example of them winning it back high up, but Gregoritsch is guilty of a foul.
That's not a bad ball though, over the top like that early on in the game when France are playing such a high line, right on the halfway line. Sabitzer it was, just couldn't quite get to the channel it was aimed at. just gives the defenders something to think about.
Free kick against Conte. Grilic will take it. That's for Hoffenheim in Germany. Dancer.
Do we know what 183 is in feet? Because I'm giving it that, 183. I don't even know how.
It's about 6 foot, I think.
Is it? See, small. That's small for a keeper.
Zabitzer. This is Verba. France have won their opening game of the last 5 major tournaments, but they haven't always flown out of the blocks. I remember Romania in 2016, they only won that game 2-1. Australia and Russia gave them a really tough time in 2018. A 1-0 win over Germany in Euro 2020. Those are examples of slower but steady starts by France. Lima. Mbene. It's a decent looking cross to that far post. Posh was coming in and trying to get on the end of it. Theo Hernandez did just enough, and it's in Mike Mignon's arms.
That's a really good move from Austria. Patient play, switch your play, and then get the ball in the box. Just a little bit too much height on it.
Austria couldn't have been handed a tougher opener, but they are not easy to knock off their stride. And they've lost just 1 of their last 16 matches. Conte. Challenged by Posh, well, at least he thought it was. The referee, who is the Spaniard, Jesus Gil Manzano, does not agree.
Yeah, I'd get back if I were you, Mr. Posh, because the game's continuing.
Thuram. Theo Hernandez trying to get to the byline, and he pulls it through the 6-yard box. There's no one there to finish it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just look at the Austrian defence then, they were having a go at the referee, and it just looked like France were going to take it quickly, and they did. Hernandez again in that position, he looks so sharp going forward. It's a brilliant ball. It's a tap-in ball.
Well, despite his stellar record, Didier Deschamps isn't universally loved in France. His critics say that his football is a little bit too conservative, but they haven't started that way tonight. Maybe it's because of the way the Austrians have approached it. And the call back home is for him to take the handbrake off and unleash the undoubted talent this squad possesses. He's quite happy to answer his critics. He can put his medals on the table, can't he?
Just a few.
Here's Posh. Baumgartner trying to roll the defender, does well to find Gregoric, and then Grilic trying to spread the play to the left. It was well read by Koundé, and now France trying to speed out, but instead he's going to be stopped because the ball was a little bit too ambitious for Griezmann.
Baumgartner did well there, didn't he? Nice little position he found himself, just the final ball again for Austria.
He's been in terrific form as Christoph Baumgartner of Leipzig. He scored the fastest goal in international football when he bagged after 6 seconds against Slovakia in March. He has scored in each of his last 5 international matches.
It's just interesting watching the French, the opposite of the Austrian press. They're just letting them come out and play a little bit on the halfway line, just trying to drag them out of their areas. So when they do win the ball back, France, they've got that huge amount of grass to go into.
Foul on Kylian Mbappe. Also pleading once again for leniency from Spanish referee. Good first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Technical, tactical, there's an energy to both sides.
Brilliant.
How good is he?
Saliba. Squeezed out by Griezmann out to Dembele, who runs at Verba, and Verba gets a yellow card for what was not the brightest of tackles.
Vene is just showing him down the line, and then he takes that space on his inside. As soon as he does that, Verba's got to come out a little bit quicker. He just delays it a little bit. That just gives Dembele that time just to get a touch on it. And now this is big trouble for Austria, because this man on the ball with his left foot has already hit 2 free kicks in on the button.
Well, Griezmann's performances at the World Cup, I think, underscored his abilities and influence on the French team. He is going to be crucial to any French success. Griezmann's delivery evaded Kylian Mbappe, ends up in the arms of Patrick Prince.
So nearly, wasn't it? Just a little bit overhit, that one. Great angle, though.
He's always turned up for international duty, Antoine Griezmann. At one point he went 7 years without missing a game for France. That is durability.
I once went 8 years without playing for England. Does that count?
Ball in towards Baumgartner, dealt with, cleared away by Upamecano. Actually lost his place in the Bayern team back end of last season. Rabiot guilty of a foul this time.
Yeah, I think both their eyes for the ball. Maybe not. Rabiot just leans into him last minute, realises he's not going to get anything, and just goes to protect himself.
Rabiot is one who knows all about exile. It's hard to believe, actually, he once went into self-exile for a couple of years after falling out with Didier Deschamps. He's so often by the manager now. That's pinched by Rabiot. That's why they use him so often. And he's worked it well out towards this near side. And Griezmann, Dembele going on the outside. Ran into traffic, but has generated a corner.
Yeah, he's just saying sorry to Dembele. He knows he should have perhaps just slipped it outside, but terrible pull from Verba. Sold his midfielder short there, and France took advantage of it. Just not enough pace on the ball. Wrong foot he passed it to as well. Just there now, and he just delays it. It's closed down.
Griezmann aiming towards the near post. It was flicked on by Thuram. Wide by the Austrian defence. Look at the speed of Lima to try and chase and hunt down N'Golo Kanté.
Massive issues with this pitch as well, haven't they?
Huge.
Yeah.
Dug it up a couple of times already. You can see, if you look at it, where there are parts of it that still haven't properly taken. Here's Mbappe. He seems to have taken to it all right, though. Zeevold. Now a chance maybe to escape for Austria. Grinic has worked it wide. This is Gregoric. Just trying to steer it to Baumgartner, who was hoping would dart him behind, but Arsenal's talismanic defender, William Saliba, read it well.
You just get no rest with them, do you? Even when you think you're in a decent position on the pitch with plenty of time, all of a sudden one of them decides to sprint at you and you've got to make your mind up quickly.
So a worry for Ralph Rangnick.